everybody can make this move. Not every man, human being, is courageous enough to take the bull by the horn that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have done. The move is a symbol of courage. It sends a message to Biafrans everywhere you are. This move of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu send a message to you that is watching me, to my own very self. Our struggle is not emotional chaos. Did you hear me? Our struggle is not emotional chaos. Always remember that. Our struggle is not emotional chaos. It is guided. It is strategic. And it is lawful. If you are a Biafran, you must hear this and hear it clear. Hear this part. This part is for you. It is for me. Hear it and hear it clear. This move of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a symbol of courage. And it sends a message to Biafrans everywhere. To you that is watching me out there. To my own very self that is speaking. This move of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sends a strong message to all of us. And that message is, our struggle is not emotional chaos. Did you hear me? Our struggle is not emotional chaos. It is guided. It is strategic. And it is lawful. It reminds the world that the Biafra movement is rooted in justice, self-determination, and human dignity. Wherever you are watching this program from, if you have not shared this program, please make sure you share this program so that everybody will get to hear this. Radical evangelism, we must be there. Like the program, share it, and make sure that people are getting these informations. I will do my part. You have to do your part. The international implications of this very case. The no-case submission strengthens the call for international intervention. It tells the United Nations, the AU, and the world powers, Nigeria is holding a political prisoner, not a criminal. Did you hear that? Nigeria is holding a political prisoner and not a criminal. This is where international law and human rights institutions must act. This is where international and human rights institutions must act. This no-case submission also have the spiritual dimension. It has emotional and spiritual dimension. My brothers and sisters, lovers of freedom across the world, this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just a legal matter. It is a spiritual battle between truth, falsehood, between light and darkness. For over 3 years, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has endured humiliation, isolation, and pain. For many years, almost 10 years, not just 3 years, almost 10 years, stay counting. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has endured humiliation, isolation, and pains. But like Mandela, his spirit remains unbroken. His spirit remains unbroken. They can change his body, but they cannot change the truth. Never. They can change his body, but they cannot change the truth. They can shut the courtroom, but they cannot silence Biafran voice. Never. They can delay justice, but they cannot stop destiny. But every Biafra watching me right now, you are part of this prophecy unfolding. Every one of you, if they kick you out from the program, don't worry, you can watch later. If they like, let them remove everybody watching me. I can see they have reduced it to 3 people or 4 people. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't care. They can remove everybody on the platform. You can kick them out, remove them. I don't give a damn. The message must continue. I will end my message when I want to end it. I spend the number of time I want to spend and give a full dose of my message. They can deny justice, but they cannot stop destiny. Every Biafran watching me right now, you are part of this prophecy unfolding. Stay strong, stay united, stay vocal. Freedom is never given. It is won through persistence and truth. Freedom is never given. It is won through persistence and truth. My people, the battle is never over. The battle is not over. We must use this moment to speak louder than ever. Wherever you are as a Biafran, we must use this moment to speak louder than ever. Share these broadcasts across all platforms. Tag international media, CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, UN, Amnesty International. Anyone you can lay your hand upon, tag them with this message. Demand free Nnamdi Kanu now and free Biafra now. We must continue to speak it. Let every Biafran in diaspora call their representative, write petitions, amplify this injustice. Because if we remain silent, they will rewrite our story. But if we rise, the world will remember that our people, that a people once oppressed, stood up and reclaimed their destiny. Every one of you, wherever you are, we must not give up. It does not matter what they say. It does not matter what they do. It does not matter what they think. We don't give a damn. We are focused on our freedom. And our freedom we must get. I saw a message that my beloved sister Stella Uzoka is writing. My beloved sister Stella Uzoka, don't allow anybody to get you distracted. Do not allow anybody get you distracted. My sister Stella Uzoka, I see your message that you said, but VDM said that all the governors in Igbo land and their evil politicians have paid very big money to make sure Nnamdi Kanu stay in detention for 20 years. That is nonsense. That's arrant nonsense. That is absolute rubbish. It doesn't make sense. Whatever VDM is saying about Nnamdi Kanu doesn't make sense. It's senseless. There is nothing about Nnamdi Kanu that is said today that has not been known before. Whatever VDM is saying about Nnamdi Kanu is absolute rubbish, arrant nonsense. He knows nothing about the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. He knows nothing. And he should know that Nnamdi Kanu cannot be used to be creating content. He should focus on his content creating to attract attention to himself, not with Nnamdi Kanu. If you want to objective to speak about the case of Nnamdi, be objective and speak. All this issue of governors paid is gone. That's arrant nonsense. We know there are governors who are interested in the case of Nnamdi. Every one of us know from day one. So it is not a news. From day one, we know how they participated. We know how they came together to agree. We know how they came together to even proscribe me. They prescribe me. They prescribe you that is watching there. Who are the ones that prescribe you? Is it not the governors? So this is not a news. Don't allow anybody to come and play with your emotion to satisfy his own selfish interest or to project his own nonsense that he's preaching as acclaimed freedom fighter. Don't allow that. Don't allow anybody to distract you. If VDM want to continue with whatever he's doing, he should focus on what he's doing. If you want to speak about Nnamdi Kanu, speak constructively. Stop about all this blackmail, emotional blackmail and nonsense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Those figures and numbers he's calling doesn't make sense. They are senseless. It doesn't make sense anyway. There is nobody that is going to come from the outside to tell me or to tell us, the Biafrans, what is happening to us. We know better than they know. You can never ever know what is going on in our case except those of us who are Biafrans. No outsider can know about the issue of Biafra more than those of us who are in Biafra. So when they come with their emotion to make you clap for them or think they feel like they care not about us and we don't care about them. We care about humanity alone. And when we speak in favor of all. When we speak in favor of all. We call the attention of the world on everybody, not on a particular individual. So, if he wants to speak on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi, can speak about your concern on humanity, don't target to Igbo people, politicians. You don't do such a thing. You have no right to go to that extent to be calling out people or giving us numbers, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. As per the involvement of some of the politicians, we know their interests. But at the same time, the ball lies on the court of the presidency. He's the one that is in charge. The blame goes to the office of the presidency. And that is why the protest is channeled to the presidency. They were the one that directed the Attorney General to move the case. They were the one that went and kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi and brought him. And if Mazi Nnamdi will be let go, or if the case will be quashed, it is them. So telling me that somebody paid them money not to do that is arrant nonsense. We don't have time for that. Out of interest, we know those who have interest. In the case of Mazi Nnamdi, they are not hiding. We know them. And some of them are not hiding. They are bold about it. They act what they have spoken about it. We know people who has interest, who are making sure that our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi is not released. We know them. So my beloved sister, Stella, don't allow the story of that young man to distract you or make you feel, no, whatever he's saying doesn't make sense to us. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Whatever he said, it doesn't make sense. Every information we need, we have it within ourselves. In issues that has to do with the Biafran people, that's why I tell you, nobody can know how you feel more than yourself. Nobody. Some people come and say, oh, I know how you feel. I know what the Biafrans are going through. You don't know. You don't know shit. If you are not a Biafran, you cannot know what the Biafrans people are going through. If you are not a Biafran, there is no way on the planet Earth you can know what we are going through. He that wears the shoe knows where it pains him or her. He that wears the shoe knows where it is paining him or her. No, anybody that come to tell you, oh, I know how you feel. I know what the Biafran people are going through. And they know nothing. Most of them are just saying it for their own personal interest to project their own personal agenda. So it is better they focus. If they want to speak in terms of speaking on humanity. Speak about humanity. Just like you see Showore doing. Showore is not just fighting for Biafran people. He's not just fighting for Mazi Nnamdi. He's fighting against injustice. Injustice. Showore has spoken about how the governors in Biafra, in the southeastern part of Nigeria are hindering the release of Mazi Nnamdi. He has spoken about it. Showore has spoken about their interests. But he doesn't make that a topic. He doesn't make that as if, okay, because they are doing that now, there's no hope for us. We can't do anything with that. No. That is how to be an activist. That is how to be objective in your statement. You see, Showore has spoken about the involvement of the politicians in Biafra land in the detention of Mazi Nnamdi. But he didn't stop there as if they are stumbling block. He didn't end there to say because of that you no. So that is when you see people show concern, you must have to try to read them where they are coming from and what they are trying to achieve. Nobody should use us to chase cloud. Nobody should use us to build this platform. Don't use us emotionally to drive a particular agenda. As like my own very self here, I am not a content creator. I am not. I can call myself a Biafran activist. That's what I am. I am not a content creator. I am not a content creator. If I'm a content creator, there are so many things I'll be doing here. I will be jumping from one topic to the other, engaging in saga and attacking people here and there. That's not what I do. I focus on issues that have to do with Biafra. How to present Biafra to the world as a remedy to the failed state Nigeria. Debunk every lies against us as Biafrans. Every distraction, we attack it and make sure it ends. I'm not a content creator. I stand as a Biafran activist, a hardcore one. I volunteered myself for it. Nobody paid me. Nobody called me to come and do it. Within my own self, when I saw the persecution, which I feel part of it, I have seen it firsthand, persecution. The attack has come to me directly. So whatever I'm doing today, I am defending my people, defending myself, speaking under experience. It's a different thing. I'm not here to create content. So anybody that wants to, you are entitled. I'm not saying that creating content is wrong. It is not wrong. There's nothing wrong in being a content creator. But you should not use your content creating to to distract those who are pursuing a very serious and genuine project. No. Don't try to bring in your content creation to distract people that are pursuing a agenda, and don't always be on a negative creation. Because when you create a content on the negative side to attack a particular project, those people are not going to be silent. In the case of Biafra, if you create a content that is detrimental to the success of Biafra, to the achievement of Biafra, we won't be silent. We're going to face you head on. We will face you head on. It doesn't matter who you are. And that is where I stand. To focus on those people that are bent on changing the narrative. Because some of them are being paid by Nigerian government to change the narrative. They are always there. Go to social media, go to TikTok, you see them there, go to Facebook. Changing narrative at all times. Even Igbo people are part of it. There are some Igbo content creators that they use to change narrative. When you are speaking about something that is relevant, they will bring another topic. Just like how they almost succeeded. They divert our attention that we are the problem for ourselves, that not other people. You will make it a problem. They will come and tell them, hey, you are your problem. You are the ones causing your problem. You are the one delaying yourself. You are the one destroying yourself. You are the one fighting yourself. You are the one killing yourself. These are Igbo people, paid, and some are not paid. They are doing it indirectly. They don't even know what they are doing. They don't know what they are doing. Helping the government to change the narrative. You see some of them today. Even there is one that says he's a reverend father that I used to see. I don't even listen to that such kind of people. I don't listen to them. But few times I've come across that man video that called himself a reverend father, and you see what is coming inside his mouth. Condemning Mazen Nnamdi, condemning Mazen Simon Ekpa. And you refuse to condemn, you refuse to look at the root of the problem. What gave birth to Mazen Nnamdi? What gave birth to Mazen Simon Ekpa? What were they really fighting for? What was the cause that brought them? You don't talk about it. You channel your energy because you want to sound good. You want your enemy to embrace you. You want them to say, oh, this one is not like his brothers. He doesn't talk like the way other people are talking. Oh, he's not like other Igbo people. This one is an Igbo people, Igbo man in style. You are a madman. You are an idiot. Whenever they begin to congratulate you on that side, you should be aware that your days are numbered. You should be worried. Whenever your enemy begin to congratulate you and call you name, you should be worried and know that your days are numbered. You should be worried. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you join us at this platform today, you must be very, very careful and pay attention. And we are going to go look into a program from their media. You know, most of the time, I always bring their media also. So we'll look into the discussion that we have in their media and know what they are saying. Nigeria's long. What I said, not this. I'm going to bring that that media. I think where Dele Farotimi was interviewed. Dele Farotimi was interviewed on one of the station. I think it was Channel Television. Let's hear what Dele Farotimi has to say.
Well, yesterday, Monday, October the 20th, had a lot of things happening for it. First, it was the 5th anniversary of the NSAS protests, particularly the incident at the toll gate. And then there was another protest in the nation's capital, and even in other parts of not just Nigeria and outside the country, the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest. And at the heart of it is really the rights of Nigerians to protest, to express themselves. Of course, the police also claiming the right to ensure law and order. Amidst all of this is a conversation around what we really want out of all of this as a people, as a government. And we're joined on the program this morning by Mr. Dele Farotimi, civil rights activist and legal practitioner, joins us virtually. Good morning, Mr. Farotimi. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Well, good to have you. I wonder what you make of all of the events from yesterday. I know from time to time you were putting out messages on social media. What was your own interpretation, first, of the NSAS anniversary, the protest, the Free Nnamdi Kanu protest, the response by the security operatives, and what this means ultimately for our nation?
Well, I think the first thing is that we need to learn to pay attention to what the Nigerian state does more than the things that it says. Number one, 5 years ago to the day yesterday, unknown number of Nigerians were murdered by men purportedly members of their own armed forces. It is a sad commentary on the country we have built that up till today, we can't even agree on the facts because the truth is staring us in the face, but men are still arguing against the grain of the truth. Second thing is that when you pay attention, you see very quickly that after 25 years, going on 26 years, 26 years now of our democracy, the Nigerian victim, who we euphemistically refer to as citizens, do not even have the right to express their pains. I'm not even talking about their rights, their pains. Yemi Adamolekun was assaulted at the Lekki toll gate exactly 5 years after the state killed men and women there. Those who were protesting for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu were serially assaulted and tear-gassed in full glare of everybody just yesterday. Meanwhile, in this same blessed country of ours, terrorists, euphemistically referred to as bandits, are riding and trooping colors in full glare of TV cameras, granting interviews and laying down conditions for peace to a state that is complicit in the mess that has overtaken it. But those who are asking that a person who was abducted from another country, been granted bail by the court, they're saying, look, free this man. Even the politics of which should have informed the rulers of Nigeria that it's not good for optics, that you have real terrorists who have borne arms, killed multiple numbers of persons, completely unrepentant, who are busy walking around free. But a man who has carried the genuine grievance of his people, you may not like his methods. That's a different ballgame entirely. But how do you complain about his methods when you are mollycoddling even worse? Absolutely. And you can't even find the grace or the sense, common sense, to bring peace in the country and find a way to free the man. So I am all for the right of citizens to protest, but unfortunately the Nigerian is not a citizen. And the Nigerian state advertises it and reinforces that message every day.
So what do you make of the other line of the argument, just to have a well-rounded conversation that says, well, the court has adjourned till October the 23rd, has asked the defendant, in this case, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu and his lawyers, to defend themselves, and they have until, I think, the 30th, thereabouts. In fact, the court granted the requests for him to have a meeting with his counsel outside of the DSS. I think that should happen today by 12 noon or between 9 and 12 or thereabouts. So for those who are saying, well, this matter is in court as well, how about really presenting the case in court and ensure that the right things are done from his counsel's case? And I think the jury will be out there. Nigerians will see that you did your work well in the court. And of course, the judgment is left to the honorable justices, but at least you presented your own case. So for those who are saying, allow the court process be exhausted, what do you say to them?
What were these same people saying when Bello Turji is busy rampaging in the northeast and the northwest and is mollycoddled and met by different levels of traditional rulership and even the so-called constituted authority? Local government chairmen are sitting down. Nigeria has created a situation where there seems to be two parallel justice systems. How do you tell somebody to keep exercising patience with a judicial system that would appear to be obeyed only when it does as it is told by the executive? The optics does not make for this argument about the existence of a court process. What happened to the court processes in relation to real bandits, terrorists who have taken Nigerians hostage, killed them, even in their worship centers? How do you have this conversation about having one subject itself to a justice system that is manifestly unjust and incapable of delivering justice, while telling the other one to ignore the fact that there are worse criminals even in terms of crime, that are being ignored. It is the double standard that makes this argument difficult to stomach. There is a judicial system, quote and unquote, but that judicial system is completely blind to the crimes of one, and in the other one, you find a dissonance that suggests that, okay, so it's okay to treat this one like this, but it's fine to treat the other one in that manner. It is the uneven scale that makes this argument inequitable to even present in the first place. If everybody are treated the same, then we can have this discussion. But in a situation where it is clear, if it is so nauseatingly clear, it is difficult to even have a rational argument where one is saying that, oh, there is a justice system to which Nnamdi Kanu must be subjected, but that justice system, it is gagged, it is blindfolded, it is handcuffed in relation to others. That is not a position I'm able to argue. And in any case, who says we can't walk and chew gum at the same time? It is the inalienable right of those who are truly citizens to protest and show their discontent to their rulers. I don't believe that those who protested have done anything wrong. If anything, I think the Nigerian state is advertising serious double standard that is not sustainable.
Tell them.
What do you think this government is scared of? Do you think are the concerns or worries of this government? Because you've talked about this also working politically for it to be released. This would be a major political point for this government. So what are your thoughts about the government's fears?
Well, I think it is easy to elicit the truth when you look at the objective realities. October 2020, Nigerians were protesting peacefully, waving flags, singing national anthem. They were murdered in cold blood. That is the response of the Nigerian state to those demanding to be treated as citizens. The entire protest was end SARS. SARS was the brutal, and it remains the brutal arm of the Nigerian government in enforcing impunity in Nigeria. But the state did not address this concern. Instead, it murdered those who were demanding to be treated as citizens. Every time Yele Sowore and his cohorts come out to protest something or the other, you see the Nigerian police in full force, always ready to murder, to kill, to maim, every time Nigerians demand to be treated as citizens. But when you look at this way, the same Nigerian state treats bandits, quote and unquote, terrorists, Fulani militia, murdering Nigerians in the full glare of everyone, you see complicit silence by the state. So it's easy to say what the Nigerian state is scared of. The Nigerian state is scared of being subjected to the rule of law and being accountable to its victims. The only time you see the Nigerian army and police flex muscles is when people are demanding to be treated as citizens. Those who bear arms against the Nigerian state, who murder citizens in their beds, in their homes, on their farms, nothing ever happens to them. The Nigerian state is constantly talking about repentant terrorists. We have the most successful de-radicalization program in the entire wide world. We should be exporting it. But it is in Nigeria that those who presume to demand to be treated decently as human beings, governed and protected by law, are serially assaulted and murdered. Chinedu Agwu is there in prison in Owerri today. What was he saying? He criticized the governor. That is the country we have built. Those who need to be afraid of the Nigerian state are those demanding that it should treat them both as citizens and as human beings. But those who go around marauding and killing Nigerians regardless of their ethnicity or religion, the Nigerian state has no problem with those ones. So the Nigerian state is afraid of having itself yoked to the rule of law and having the citizens, quote and unquote, treated as citizens and no longer as victims. That is what the Nigerian state is afraid of. Accountability, in any way, shape or form. It does not like it.
Speaking of Nigerians being killed, another part of this conversation is the number of Nigerians that have met their untimely death at the hands of what police in the southeast will call criminal elements associated with IPOB. And at the heart of this is also the Simon Ekpa factor. And the southeast is divided over this. How much of this would you attribute to the influence of the man that is at the heart of this agitation from yesterday, which would be Nnamdi Kanu? Do you believe that it is part of what he should answer to amid this trial?
Well, let me remind us of a Yoruba proverb. He says, you say to the cripple that, oh, your load is askew, and it reminds you that perhaps you should be looking at his feet instead of focusing on his head. Nnamdi Kanu is a reaction to genuine grievances. Ndi Igbo, since the end of the Civil War, has proven to be the testing ground for all the madness that afflicts Nigeria. Absolutely. What was once restricted strictly for the Igbos have now been democratized for everybody. Absolutely. The Nigerian citizen is essentially a Biafran. The question to ask is this: why is Nnamdi Kanu agitating, and why is he supported by the rank and file of Ndi Igbo? A lot of people are unhappy with his methodologies, yes, but there has been nobody who has been able to come out to credibly challenge the genuineness of the grievances that he's fighting for, or rather fighting against. Let us be clear. We can bellyache about his methods from now till kingdom come, and I have been very vocal in condemning his method. But nobody in their right mind can argue against the fact that Ndi Igbo, just like every other Nigerian who is not a member of the ruling class, has been seriously marginalized in Nigeria and is not even treated decently like a human being. So if we want to talk about the criminalities that has also affected that struggle, let me remind you that it is in this country that we started hearing how Asari Dokubo has been contracted by certain states to act and bear arms on behalf of the Nigerian state. He said as much inside the council chamber of the Nigerian state in Aso Rock at the beginning of Tinubu's regime when he was there vibrating. We don't even know and cannot say for sure whether this madness can be traced directly to Nnamdi Kanu and his cohort. I am not his lawyer. I'll let his lawyer handle that. But the fact is this: there is no way to say with certainty that state-sponsored actors are not equally involved in the madness that has overtaken the Southeast. And if you are going to deal with that madness, you would have to go to the root. What is causing the grievances? What is at the root of the grievances? What is it that the Igbo man is complaining about? Why is it that this place has remained in turmoil? If it's just about Nnamdi Kanu, it will be over. You've had him locked up for like 3 years, and even before then, he was mostly on the run. So the point is, take away the grievances, and the agitations will dry up. As long as the headlines persist, the fingernail will remain blood-stained. That is a reality. Nnamdi Kanu might not be to your taste, but you should ask yourself, and I'm saying this to everybody who might have reason to have quarreled with him, as I have, why is his agitation resonating with his people? Because it is true. So if the Nigerian state is interested in dealing with the criminalities and everything, let it go first to the root of the problem, the inequitable treatment of Nigerians. It is just unfortunate that the Igbo man is the one we are speaking about, but there is nothing that hails him today that does not hail each and every Nigerian regardless of where they are. It is inequity that is at the root of everything.
You see, I thank Chukwu Okike that there are still people, men of conscience. You see how this evil, when Mazen Nane can talk about evil media, when Mazen Nane can speak about how evil Nigerian media is, these people, the kind of scripts they write, the kind of things they write, you begin to wonder. It takes only somebody that is genuinely independent of heart to come and speak his mind. You see how they want to cage Delefaro to me? When they have seen that he's making a case for Mazen Nane, now they brought in Mazen Simon Ekpa and the Liberation Army of Biafra and the ESI. They brought it in. They now say, don't you think that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should be answering for this? You see, and you see, each time they throw this, they forget the origin of the whole cocoa, and that is what Biafra wrote me. A very wonderful step he took today. You say, don't you think he has to be answering for Martin Simon Ekpa and the activities of other groups, armed group? And you just imagine these people. They will never look at the critical issue, and that is what Delefarutmi had just done. He just told them in their station and everybody that cares to listen. Have you asked yourself, what is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu fighting for? In as much you don't like his methodology, you don't like the way he's going about it, but that thing he's fighting for, can you say it is not a genuine concern? Can anybody on the planet Earth come and say that the concern of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not genuine? And when you begin to accuse this one, do you know what gave it? It is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that gave birth to Mazen Simon Ekpa. It is the condition of the Biafran people that gave birth to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave birth to Mazen Simon Ekpa. So trying to drag these people into this, talk about the cause, the original cause of the problem, the source of the problem, the source, which is supposed to be the bone of contention. The marginalization, the killing of Biafran people, the genocide going on against Biafra. And as Dr. said, I agree with him 100%, because today, they thought it was just about the Biafran people. Before, Nigerian people think it's about the Biafran people alone, but today, everybody is facing the same situation. Look at Showore, in and out of the court. Showore is not a Biafran. He doesn't confess Biafra. Showore is just a human rights activist talking about humanity. Look at where he's dragging him in and out of the court. And that is one thing that the case of Showore, this very protests have made. The protests have exposed Nigeria that when you that call yourself a one Nigeria, you think that this thing is about Biafra people. They should stop. No, that they marginalize. You think it's about Biafra people. It will get to everybody. It will get to everybody. Everybody will have a taste of it. Every single one of them, everybody, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Hausa, whether you are Middle Belt, whatever you are going to face a test of it. You can continue to be scared and run away. The only people that have the confidence to confront the problem and focus on the solution is the Biafran people. And that is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is doing. That is why we are asking for the disintegration of the zoo. Conduct a referendum. Let everybody decide what they want, where they want to be, and be there. Save yourself this problem. Save yourself this shame. Conduct it. Let every man go his separate ways. Recognize the referendum have been conducted by Biafran people, which our Prime Minister Mazi Simon never conducted. Recognize it. If you don't recognize the referendum, conduct your own. Let the people take their decision. It is not out of wickedness, not out of jealousy or envy. It is the right thing to do. Let the people make their decision what they want. When we talk about this separation does not mean we will be enemies. Separation doesn't mean we'll be enemies. We will do business together. We can still intermarry. We can still do so many things together. Countries that broke up in the former USSR, Russia, they still intermarry up to today. They still do business together. They still live and travel to both other places. Go to Asia, the same thing. People that broke up, they are still intermarried. They are still doing business together. People live from both sides. So when we demand for the same thing in Nigeria, it is not a crime. All we are saying, let people have a boundary so that the destructive diversity will die a natural death. This interest of pursuit of resources, of pursuit of land will die. Because when you know your boundaries, you will focus on your boundaries, protect your own land, and develop your own land. That is what we're talking about. But as long as you leave that border open, the pursuit of land grabbing will continue. The pursuit of resources will continue. The destructive diversity will continue. The problem is not the region. It's not your tongue. The problem lies in the boundary. Let those who believe in the caliphate know their boundary and build their caliphate within that area. Those that believe in the monarchical system should build their boundary and let them exist in that area. Those that like secular system, build their own boundary and practice it within that area. People on each and every one of them can still travel around and visit each other. They can still intermarry if they want to. It doesn't stop them. But once you step away from this boundary, you enter the other boundary, you know your limitations. You move from here, you go there, you know your limitations. That is what we are calling for. Why is it difficult for anybody to understand? Why is it difficult for the international communities to weigh in into this matter and solve this problem, save humanity once and for all? Save humanity, that is what we are crying for. Save humanity in Nigeria. Why is it a difficult task? Why are they running away from this fact? Why? The man that just spoke now is a Yoruba man, Dele Farotimi. A Yoruba man. Look at his presentation from A to Z. Even when they try to drag him, he made it very clear what the problem is. If you want to solve it, look at what you're going to do. It is not just about the Biafran people. Are their complaints genuine? Very, very genuine. Very, very genuine. Can you stop it by detaining Mazin Nanikan? You only increase it. Can you stop it by detaining Mazin Samaneba? You only increase it. It is not about Mazin Nanikan. It's not about Mazin Samaneba. It is about every indigenous Biafran person from the old Southeastern region. That blood flowed inside us. Take our leaders away. In the next decade, we will continue to pursue the cause of Biafra. And there's nothing you can do about it. Let us hear the conclusion of their word.
His agitation does resonate with the people, and you know there were reports that the Southeast was also represented yesterday, but that's one side of the story. There were also protests against the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We saw some people from the Southeast carrying pictures of those who had been killed in the past few years. But let's talk about another critical part of it, Mr. Farotimi, which is the court order that the police cited repeatedly so yesterday during our sister political program. How do you view this court order against the backdrop of Section 40 of the 1999 Constitution, which guarantees Nigerians' right to protest? And what does this mean for the fate of protest in Nigeria?
Number one, this question should help you to see the lie that is called Nigeria. Constitution. That is suggestive of something that the people came together to give to themselves. A band of bandits wrote what you are calling the Constitution, and the section you are citing is as useless as the persons who crafted it. And I would explain myself. In a democracy, there should never be a need for a police permit before you may have a protest. That the police was informed was so that they will provide security.
Yes.
That a court would presume to curtail the right of citizens to protest peacefully in a democracy is even suggestive of the fact that you are not in a democracy, you are only mimicking and pretending to be in a democracy. It is actually completely unheard of that in a democracy, citizens are required to obtain the permit of their paid employees before they may congregate peacefully. So when you talk about the police and the order it was waving around, I'm sorry. Obasanjo was the president of this country, so was Jonathan. And you don't have to listen to Dele Farotimi, you can listen to the professor of law, Oshibadu. Our judiciary is unfit for purpose. It does exactly as it is told by the executive, and it does not serve the cause of justice. So that they are brandishing something and waving it around, you cannot restrict it. A order is only as useful as its lawfulness. You can say you can arrest those who are violent in protesting, you can arrest those who break the law, but there should never be a situation where you are saying citizens cannot protest. So that the Nigerian police was busy waving an order around. I have been the victim of a court that tried me and sent that remanded me in prison custody on a non-existent law. So what kind of law court order is going to stop citizens who are not out for violence from peacefully showing their displeasure with the government? Why I don't join protests is because I know that they are merely protesting to the deaf. How do you tell the deaf you don't like what is being done to you? A person who is intent on not hearing you, why are you wasting your time shouting at him? It's a waste of time. The Nigerian state is deaf. It does not listen. So those who protest to the Nigerian state, when you talk about protest, it's suggestive of a person saying, no, I'm not happy with what you are doing. And he keeps saying, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy with this. The expectation is that the person to whom you are protesting have the capacity to hear you, and having heard you, he will recalibrate and do the right thing. It has never happened that the Nigerian state recalibrated and did the right thing.
Never.
NSAT,
Never.
They changed the name to SWAT. Today is RRS. It is the character and nature that has not changed. The Nigerian state does not change anything for anybody. It is not interested in pleasing those who presume themselves to be citizens. It doesn't care.
Oh, Mr. Farotimi, quite a number of issues to unpack. I was just looking at one of your posts that you made a few days ago. You talked about a campaign of violence and displacement in northern and middle belt Nigeria, saying it constitutes a calculated, current and long-running genocide against Christian communities and other religious minorities without any reasonable doubt. This is a conversation that is burning. Perhaps in the coming days we'll get to unpack it. But if you were to just speak one line, because we're totally out of time, but that caught my attention. One line to that.
Let me be clear about this. I am not one of those waiting for America or some other country to come and save us. It is up to us to save ourselves.
Definitely.
And I don't need Renault's prepackaged American to tell me the truth of what I have been shouting in my country for over 6, 7, 8 years.
Yes,
there is a genocide going on in Nigeria. The Nigerian state is complicit in it, and the victims are largely Christians and other minorities in the northeast, in the northwest, and in the middle belt. I don't need the Americans to tell me that. And I don't need the Americans to establish the complicity of the APC and the Buhari junta. It was Baraje that told all of us in Nigeria, I heard him say it in 2016 at his 70th birthday anniversary. The APC imported terrorists into Nigeria. Commodore Lawume was sat in your studio when he informed the whole of Nigerians that as far back as 2016, a list was compiled and given to President Buhari of sponsors of terrorism in his government. And he's also mentioned at that time that there were state governors who were sponsors of terrorism. All these people are still in Nigeria today. I don't need the Americans to tell me what I have seen, what I have heard, and what eyewitnesses have told me. The complicity of the Nigerian state has been established beyond reasonable doubt. And it should stop lying to itself and face the fact of what is before us.
Well, Mr. Farotimi, we have to thank you so much for your time on the program today. We've been speaking with civil rights activist, Mr. Dele Farotimi. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much for having me.
Wow, 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 wow. This was a bombshell. This is a very, what else do I have to say? What else do I have to say? This is somebody making a case, not even a Biafran, a neutral person, and he has spoken the mind of a human rights activist, the mind of anyone that has humanity in him, the mind of the Biafran people. What else am I going to add to what he said? But in going for that, you see that everything he said has exposed Nigerian government and their evil. It has exposed the same media that Mazen Nnamdi warned. You see that their action, the reason Mazen Nnamdi don't spare them, you still saw it in this very interview. But Dele Farotimi gave it to them in a way that even the presenters, they got shocked. They will go back and they will repent if they can. Because we know they are unrepentant. Just like Dele Farotimi said, he said going out to protest is a waste of time because Nigerian government is deaf. They will not hear you. That is why he doesn't participate. And I agree with him. Going out to protest is a waste of time. Which protests have yielded fruit? NSAS, they even taking life of, after taking life of people, instead of removing the SARS, they changed their name and gave them new uniform and promoted most of them. You talk about end bad governance. They took innocent life, locked them up. Some of them are still in detention up to today, and nothing changed. It is so sad. Yeah, welcome, my brother Max. Thank you so much for joining, my brother Max. You're welcome. Go ahead and take the mic.
Thank you, Mazichix, and good morning to you. May God bless you with this work that you are doing, both in the morning and the evening section. It's not easy. I wonder how you take care of yourself. And I would like to use this opportunity to salute the wife. For every successful man, there is a strong woman behind him. And that is what I see in your wife. May God continue to bless her.
You see?
May God never, make her to say, oh, my husband, what you are doing is affecting me. May God continue to give her the same spirit to support you in everything that you do. You are doing it for humanity, and the humanity is going to pay you. God will also pay you. You will be remembered for all the great things that you have done since the time I met you from Sister Linda TV program. God bless Nnamdi Kanu. God bless the Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. May God bless my Nemoche DPM. May God bless every of our people, both in the diaspora and in the homeland. May God give them the strength to withstand the evil authorities, evil intentions of the Nigerian government against them. Our only crime is that we said we don't want to belong. And as bad as their constitution is, their constitution of 1999 did not criminalize anybody that decides to say, I don't want to live with you anymore. But they are forcing us, buying us, maiming us whenever we say we want to live. It is well with us, and Chukwu Okike Abiama will definitely hear our prayers. You see, there is something I want to touch. I want to touch on. I agree, with on everything my brother said, delivered to me. But there are some aspects that I do not agree with him. I disagree with him.
My brother.
One of the parts that I disagree with him is this. You need America. You need China. You need Russia. You need North Korea in the fight for your freedom. If possible, get one. If possible, get one. History has taught us this. We lost. Anybody that told you that, no vanquish, no conquer, no vanquish. We were vanquished. We were conquered. 1967 to 1970, we were dealt with. We surrendered because we could not afford to see our people with those swollen stomach, protruding stomach, lanky limbs, and the big heads as a result of kwashiorkor. We need them. The reason why you see Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger standing toe-to-toe against France is because of the person that is drumming the drum for them and they are dancing. We need them. These are the same people that will take your matters. These are the same people that will listen to you in the United Nations. Is there any African country in the United Nations Security Council where decisions are made and unmade? No. No. And if wishes were to be horses, Nigeria could have been taken over that thing. God forbid. Say Nigeria is a member of the United Nations Security Council and we will be here today to talk. In fact, any country that where you stay and be talking, they will also go there and veto and try to, put their force to make sure that we are taken away from where the real Biafrans are, residing and talking the way they are talking. We need them. Yes, Nigeria is deaf. And a hunter said, since the bird had learned how to fly without perching, The hunter will also learn how to shoot without aiming.
Shoot without aiming.
Yes. You still learn how to shoot without aiming. The reason why you think that Biafran people are novices? Are we novices? You think that we don't have sense? You think that we don't articulate? We came out, Biafran people, Biafran agitators came out. What did they do to us? The referee to me was around. He saw most of the things that happened to the Biafran agitators. They pied us in secondary school even when they were doing keep fit, training, exercising themselves. They went in there, they level, they spray their live munitions on our people. Some were pied. Some were maimed for life. They went to several places. They went to Ngwa High School in Aba. They maimed, they beat. They got our people beaten. Some, their hands were broken. Some, their heads were flowing with blood. Those that the bullet could not get. Biafrans say no. Biafrans say no. Demonstration, protests will not help us. We are going to resort into what?